we actually focus on racism, and sexism, and we show these organizations like Planned Parenthood behaving like racists, and that's how you get them to basically get them on your side, because if there's one thing they'll never be able to defend, it's racism.
That's right. That's right. So do you have any projects upcoming that you could
We
tell
sure
us about?
we sure do. I can't tell you about them though.
Okay. Well, we're going to be looking out for them. But what would be the takeaway for us, the citizen, of what we can do, how we can get a little power and control?
Well, I think it doesn't take so much talent. It really is about willpower. It's about, you know, they can pretty much destroy a couple of people, but if you have a movement, it doesn't have to be a big movement, but a small group of people who are willing to put themselves out there. The biggest thing that upsets me is seeing from people, well, I don't want to shake the boat. I might lose my job.
People are afraid.
In fact,
it's
people.
That intimidation.
But it's not just the people who are the citizens. People who want to run for office are afraid. Like, they're afraid to do anything that would be perceived to be as a slight to their future political career. Are you kidding me? Like, you're afraid to do the right thing because you're going to run for office? That sounds like a interesting paradox.
Interesting twist.
So I think my advice to people is to stick to the facts, is to expose hypocrisy, and be willing to take a stand for what you believe in.
Right.
People will stand behind you. We've got an organization now, a foundation, probably 1 million people. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of people who contact us regularly. People believe in that. It's just, it's a lonely endeavor. It's sometimes alienating. You're not going to be friends with the media. You're not going to be friends with the people in D.C., but it matters. It's important
Exactly.
to do it.
And one of the things that I always talk about, I probably talk about on every show and every chance I get, is even people getting involved on the local level, whether you're writing letters to the editor and kind of talking about things that nobody wants to. I mean, for instance, my local newspaper, you know, reluctantly is letting me write this article. He wasn't, you know, all embracing about it, but I insisted. And I wasn't taking no for an answer. So, you know, I try on my end as far as writing and getting certain facts out. And it's always about the facts. And you're right, we do hold ourselves to a certain standard. I'm never going to attack someone personally. I'm never going to go after issues that aren't in facts and allude to things that aren't true.
Right.
So, but it is, you know, sometimes just on that local level, you know, Trenton and Washington, D.C. always feel so far away. But, you know, there are inroads that we can make. Even, and I say as a citizen journalist, just letters to the editor, writing an op-ed piece, you know, putting your facts and things that you know out there.
You mentioned a good point, letters to the editor. I think it's very important to hold the media accountable. So whenever you have a chance to hold them accountable, to speak to them directly, and hold them accountable for their lies. I sued the New Jersey Star-Ledger for defamation. I had so much. They were literally printing I'm a felon. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Pulitzer Prize-winning newspaper printed I'm a felon. We got a retraction, and they printed it again.
Oh,
So the standard is actual malice, which means that they had I'm a public figure, so but the standard for that is malice. Well, if you print one thing, you correct it, and then you go ahead and print it again. That's pretty intentional.
Right, and you think we weren't going to catch it again?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they were. They must be stupid, I guess. Pulitzer Prize winners reporting that someone is a felon. But we sued them for defamation. But I think it's very important. We said letters to the editor, a very worthwhile endeavor, because when you do that, the media they have all the power. So if you're getting inside their heads, if you're holding them accountable, you're making a huge difference.
Exactly, and it is such an important thing to do, and it's something that you can do. You know, it's a little piece that you can take control of on a local level, and then it's once you start changing that foundation, that's when things really, you know, can start to happen and move up.
Breitbart was very, very good at holding journalists accountable, and it was a very, as you saw in his long life, it was a very tough thing to do. It's very hard. They're very talented. They're very skillful. They're misinformation experts. But he was on Twitter I don't know if you ever follow him on Twitter, but every 5 seconds he was yelling at another journalist, and you're lying here, and change that. And a lot of people are unwilling to do that, but it's very important.
It is. And James, we can't thank you enough for being here today and telling us about your projects. Once again, James O'Keefe from Project Veritas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good.
You can cut now.
What do you think? Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? We went up. Did we cover everything? James, did you feel like we got everything in? That was a good free-flowing conversation.
That was pretty good.
Yeah? I'm glad you were here.
Seemed we got everything.